Well, this first start was maybe not the ideal first start for poor Kenny Pickett. Not really due to his fault at all. It was really the defense couldn't get a stop for the life of them. The way that Josh Allen was throwing the ball down the field, no way Pickett was going to get a win here. But let's talk about what he did. I actually thought he played well in this one. Again, not perfect. There were some flaws. I will get into the flaws, but I thought he played well in this one. I think Kenny Pickett has, he's proven he belongs here. I think he's at least been as good as Trubisky, and I think a little bit better. Although, we'll get into it. So let's start off with this play. This is something I think this is one of those veteran type plays that you don't see a lot of young quarterbacks making, where it's going to be a cover 2 man that he's going up against. That's what the coverage the Bills are running. And you see the route that he's looking towards on the screen is a route that can work. Worth noting, this is a 3rd down, and they have to get to their own 49-yard line. So this route will get just past that, and then the receiver will cut. But it could also be underneath these safeties, so it could be kind of in a perfect spot. But there's obviously an issue here. The issue is that Kenny Pickett is taking the snap from the hash marks on the top of the screen and throwing all the way outside the numbers on the bottom of the screen. That's a tough angle, and if you don't make it perfectly, a cornerback can absolutely jump the route and potentially get an interception for a touchdown. So you have to be careful here. Watch how when this play begins, Kenny Pickett is going to take the snap, and he looks there, and he sees right now, okay, this is in a good spot, right? The corner has his hips turned towards the top of the screen, whereas I know my receiver is going to be cutting in the other direction. So because of that, this is something I feel pretty good about. But here's where things are fascinating, and here's why I'm saying that I think that he does stuff that other young quarterbacks don't do. I feel like a lot of young quarterbacks wait until their receiver gets open to make the throw, but in the NFL, you don't always have time to do that. Sometimes you have to make a throw when you're pretty sure your receiver is going to get open, and every now and then it backfires and turns into an interception. Like, that's kind of what you, I think, should do. But given this situation, this is something you can definitely feel very confident is a good time to throw the ball. Watch how Pickett is going to make this throw. Perfectly accurate. They pick up the first down right there. That's just a good play by Kenny Pickett. Hits George Pickens there, and just kind of a smart play. Again, understanding the situation, understanding when he has to throw the ball, and making a good throw. Because again, had to throw it pretty far. On the hash marks on the opposite side of the field, it's never easy. We also have stuff like this, where again, Kenny Pickett can very much move, very well for a quarterback. One of the underrated traits in his game, and here's an example of it, where it's going to be man coverage, and you have George Pickens, who's going to be running a route on the outside. You're also going to have Kenny Pickett run in he's going to roll out towards his right. Watch how when Pickett takes the snap, he's rolling out towards his right. So, hey, the benefit is you've now moved all the way over to the hash marks on this side of the field instead of on the other side of the field. So you got over to some degree. And the other bright spot is George Pickens once again getting open. This guy is fantastic. He can win on the outside. He's great. But again, watch this off-balance throw that was perfectly accurate. And that's kind of what he can do. This is the guy who can throw on the move, and that's not something everyone can do. But the fact that he can do that, you can scheme stuff open for him. You can scheme this type of play for him to do. All of that stuff, very good. Something like this is another example of a smart play. I mean, he's a smart player. He is. And this is an example of it. It's a cover 3 zone. Again, it's hard to believe I'm being so, supportive of a guy who lost by 35 points and only scored 3 points offensively. But I thought he played well. I think that was just kind of one of those games. I think the score is misleading in terms of how Pickett played. But anyways, the way this play works, is what you see on the screen. You're going to eventually be looking towards the offense. His left. Pickett is actually going to run a play action to his right and then roll out towards his left. Look at how when this play begins, you're going to notice that he gets to the outside with maybe a little help of a hold there, but he's to the outside now. You have a couple Bills players here, and in this situation, yes, Pickett sees a guy he wants to throw to, but this probably should be covered by Buffalo, right? You have 2 players, have one of them run in, and then have the other one stay deep and cover, and then you should be okay. This is just another one of those things where I feel like a young quarterback makes this throw now. They try to make something happen, but Pickett is not going to do that. Instead, watch him get over, and he is going to make this throw. He just waits, right? The fact that he waits, that drew the Buffalo players further in towards him, so then he was able to make the throw over the top of them, and they were able to pick up some yards there that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So just a good play there, in my opinion, from Pickett. And then something like this I like too, which this might feel like it's the complete opposite of it's a one-on-one matchup with George Pickens on the outside. This feels like an obvious you should make this throw type of play, but a lot of young players won't make this throw either, where watch what happens. Pickett takes the snap, he sees it's a one-on-one matchup, there is a single safety deep, and he also sees that Pickens is not open here, right? But, what does Pickens say? That he's always open? I mean, that's what a lot of receivers say if we're being honest, but he really is. He's a great jump ball receiver, so hey, if you feel like he has a chance, throw the ball up there. If it's a one-on-one matchup, Pickens turns 50-50 balls into like 90-10 balls. So if you're a quarterback, know that and know that that makes it a good throw. If this was some bad receiver, it'd be a bad decision. But it's not that situation, so make the throw. And that's exactly what Pickett does. He makes a very catchable ball. Pickens is able to make the grab and pick up a big gain, and I wouldn't be shocked if these two guys do that a lot over the course of their careers. So again, he's just doing the right thing with the football. That's what I like about Pickett. That's what I think, why I felt like he was the most pro-ready quarterback out of the quarterbacks in this draft, because of that stuff. Finally, the interception was interception's never good, right? But as far as interceptions go, this was not that bad of an interception. For one thing, situation, it's at the end of the half, so, only about 30 seconds left. They're losing by a lot. So trying to make something happen is, I think, totally respectable by Pickett. It's going to be a cover 2 zone. You see the route on the screen, and, it's a route that can work, right? You get past the corner, but underneath the safety, and there isn't a window for it. As you see, when this play begins, it's, at this point, it feels like an obvious throw he should make, right? This doesn't even feel like a question. This is oh yeah, absolutely make this throw, try to, get the big completion here. So him making the decision is totally understandable. The issue, I think, is with, the corner, Kaiir Elam, the rookie corner, another first-round pick. He was only selected a few picks after Pickett was. Watch Elam's closing speed here to get back and still be able to make an interception. Maybe the throw could have been a bit higher, but, you had to get underneath the safety. It's a tough play. I don't think that was a bad decision by Pickett. I just think it didn't work out, which is, fine. That happens sometimes. It's a good defensive play. I'd want Pickett to make that throw again. I would. So that's just how I view that play. So, as a whole, I thought Pickett played well. Again, the scoreboard wasn't great, but it was kind of one of those games where, because they got down so much so early with to no fault of his own, the final score was never going to look pretty with Pickett in there, but I still thought that he played relatively decent. I don't think that there's, I thought that he played well. It's only a second game, and he's coming out here looking like a lot better than a lot of rookie quarterbacks look. So kind of how I view it. Again, threw the ball 52 times, only 327 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. So the stats aren't going to wow you, if you look at bulk stats, 300 plus yards is nice, but the overall stats don't wow you. But a lot of the incompletions and stuff, there was nothing he could do. So I thought that when he could make something happen, he did, and for the most part, he couldn't make much happen due to no fault of his own. That's what I saw. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.